One that wouldn't immediately be that noticeable, but as years would go on, it would become the dominant talking point surrounding this series.
Microtransactions?
This was the game where 2K added virtual currency,
Yep.
aka VC.
All right, welcome back to another After Dark, everybody. Hope you all are having a good night so far. Hope you guys had a wonderful day. Got something a little different for you guys. I wanted to watch this video, and honestly, I was going to watch it on my own, but I figured since a lot of you guys have a lot of memories and still play a lot of basketball video games, I figured I'd react to it and we'd have a conversation about it together. So this is from one of my favorite YouTubers, Soft Drink TV, and he's been covering all the sports games, really. So he really talks a lot about 2K, but he mainly talks about Madden and how Madden has just kind of progressively gotten worse over the years, and always talks about like the peak of these games. And it's ironic because the peak of football games turns out wasn't Madden, it was like NFL 2K5, I think. And when it comes to basketball games, as you can see with me starting to upload some gaming content, I'm not really interested in the new games. You know what I mean? Like NBA 2K at least. NBA Playgrounds was all right, and that's relatively new. But the 2K games just don't do it for me anymore. It doesn't feel like a video game at all. It feels like I'm part of a simulation, and I'm just kind of going along with the motions. While the old games, it really felt like I was in there. You know, if how do I want to say? I don't know how to say it. Like the proper term would be like in the modern games, you're locked in animations. So you go up for a shot, like you're not necessarily going up for a jump shot when you think you are. You might be doing some weird animation they're forcing you into, and that animation is going to play itself out without you really being involved in it. And like, to me, that's like the whole point of a sports game, is just being at the heart, at the center of it, and just being totally involved and feeling like you have control. So anyways, you guys, this one is titled The Game That Killed NBA 2K. And I'm gonna throw out a guess and guess it's around like something after 2011. All right, because 2K11 was the last one I truly loved, and that's the one with Jordan, with the Jordan mode on it and all that. And after that, I fell out of love with the series. Microtransactions helped kick me out the door too. Anyways, long ramble on the intro. Let's get into the video. Link is down below for Soft Drink TV if you want to check out his channel. Highly recommend it if you're into this kind of stuff. And yeah, shout out to members. I appreciate you guys. Let's do this. Like the vid if you could. Let's go.
By all means, NBA 2K13 was a great NBA game. The NBA 2K series was peaking around this time, as the iconic NBA 2K11 had just released 2 years before, which is a 2K many call the greatest in the series' history. And with the impending jump to the next generation of consoles lurking, there were still great NBA 2K titles on the near horizon. I made a similar video on Madden NFL 13 being the game that killed Madden, but that was a different story, one where EA removed everything from the game that made it worth playing, setting up the series for future failures. NBA 2K13 didn't remove depth from previous releases, but it did commit a different sin altogether, one that wouldn't immediately be that noticeable, but as years would go on, it would become the dominant talking point surrounding this series.
Microtransactions?
This was the game where 2K added virtual currency,
Yep.
aka VC. You could now pay to level up your MyPlayer faster in MyCareer, which was previously not possible. You had to grind in-game, but the grind was at least fair. The implementation of paying for upgrades in NBA 2K's career mode, of introducing microtransactions to a fully priced basketball video game, would go on to change everything about the future of the series.
My stance with VCs and microtransactions, whatnot, is really simple. If the game is free to play, like Fortnite or Rocket League nowadays, if the game is free to download and play, fine, that's okay. I get it. You need to make money somehow. You know, purchasable items is fair. But if I'm paying full price for a freaking game like a 2K, I don't want to see this crap. Everything should be achievable in game. I shouldn't have to spend more money, like real world money, to get this virtual currency in order to basically get the full product when you already paid the full price of the product in the first place. Make it free if that's the case. And honestly, I've been campaigning for this for years. Sports games, FIFA, Madden, 2K, etc. Any game that's a yearly drop should just be a free game and then just live off the microtransactions. I don't know. I'd play it. I would play it in that situation, but I'm definitely not going to spend $70 a year to buy the same crap over and over again with just a new roster.
And sports gaming as a whole. In a way, this was a major step towards 2K becoming what it is today, and the decision to add virtual currency made the company and its publisher, Take-Two Interactive, a lot more money. So much money that sports games would never be the same again. This is how digital products get worse. They start out fantastic because they have to be to beat out the competition and build that initial customer base.
And also competition helps. 2K used to have competition with NBA Live, and now they don't. And Madden has been on cruise control, making their games crap year after year because there is no competition for them.
They start testing ways to increase profits further. At first, it seems relatively fine. There's an ad here or a microtransaction there. But this is where the seed is planted.
Yeah.
Next, they go too far. They get backlash, bad PR, and it seems, for a brief moment, like the consumers win. And the product is going to revert back to the initial standard it set back when it first built up its consumer base. Maybe this buys a year, maybe two, but eventually, the company once again pushes the envelope of what they can get away with, and people get tired of the same old news. Sure, NBA 2K18, for example, was getting terrible PR constantly, but it still sold great.
I know.
And when 2K started...
That's the real problem, too. I've talked to my buddies recently about this because, they were complaining about Madden, and I asked my buddy, I'm like, yeah, well, didn't you tell me you buy Madden every single year? He's like, well, yeah, it's like a ritual. I buy it every year. I'm like, you're the problem. Sorry. But like, if everybody united and voted with their wallet and said, enough is enough, I'm not buying a new Madden or a new 2K until I see this, these improvements. If you were to do that and everybody voted with their wallet, then they'd be forced to change. But the fact that you keep buying the damn product no matter what, that means they have zero incentive to change any of their behavior because they're getting away with it. You've now enabled that, And I'm not like, ripping on my friend. I was just like, he agreed with me. He's like, yeah, you got a damn good point. He's my buddy, so we're blunt with each other.
Getting even more predatory in future releases, it almost became background noise. The outrage wasn't as strong.
Yeah.
Everyone knows NBA 2K is a soulless corporate product.
Yeah, it becomes conditioning. You just start accepting it. But for me, I vote with my wallet, so that's why I haven't paid for I haven't given 2K any of my money since 2010.
And they've become numb to it and buy it anyways, because what else are you going to play on your PS5?
That's why I'm playing old games. I'm playing like PlayStation 2 games and that kind of good stuff. Thankfully, we have emulators these days, so we can go back and visit these much better times.
That initial warning sign, that seed.
You notice in what is it? In NBA Street that I'm playing? How surprised and happy I was that right out of the gate they gave me Michael Jordan to put on any team. Nowadays that would have cost $20. But back then they're like, thanks for buying the game. Here's MJ, have fun. Like that makes me feel good.
Ends up defining the product, and you sit back and realize they got away with it. NBA 2K13 is still a great game, and I'll go over its impressive depth, gameplay, and presentation in this video too, but man, this really was the game that eventually killed NBA 2K. When you simply navigate the menus in this game, you're greeted with eye candy everywhere. It looks a bit overdone, but I like the effort. It feels vastly different from the minimalist vibe you see in sports games today. You can credit Jay-Z for the menu design and visual elements, as well as the soundtrack. It was also his idea to include the '92 and 2012 USA Olympic basketball teams in the game, which even features Charles Barkley, which is a rare sight in video games.
I might have to try this one and just play it offline. So, don't have to worry about all the microtransactions and crap. That's cool that they have the 92 Dream Team on there.
NBA 2K12 was one of the best 2K games ever made, capitalizing on 2K11's immense hype with a game that was arguably even better. So for 2K13, there wasn't much of a need to reinvent the wheel. Gameplay is similar to 12, although it has its own unique feel to it. These older 2Ks all played differently, teetering between arcade and sim gameplay, and the end result was a fresh game each year. I wish modern sports games retained this difference in feel between releases.
I do too.
As it feels a lot less noticeable today.
I can't tell the difference between the last 10 2Ks. Same with Madden. Looks, feels, plays exactly the same.
Signature skills were added this year, which was an early version of the
I remember back in the day, especially like in the 90s and the early 2000s, every single game felt different. And like even then, NBA Live was coming out with a new game every year. Every time there was something different. It's faster, you got different camera angles, you got different move sets, different perspectives even. Like they were changing it. It was growing. It was becoming something. Now I feel like everyone is just being safe. Like, oh, this worked before, so let's not change anything.
System. This gave players unique abilities beyond their regular attributes and built the foundation for peak 2K with games like 2K16. These skills changed everything and made players resemble their NBA counterparts better than ever before. 2K13's gameplay AI was ahead of its time. It feels as good as it possibly could be on the hardware available at that time. Since offline play was still the priority, CPU AI had to be good and a noticeable improvement from the year before, as most of the game's player base would be experiencing games against this CPU. Your offensive teammates play with smart spacing and decision making, and defensive logic is sound. New controls were mapped to the right stick for dribble moves, crossovers, spins, and more, which gives the game a more modernized feel today compared to, say, 2K12 or 11. There isn't a massive flaw or issue with the gameplay either, it's well done. The biggest change from 2K12 to 2K13 overall was the reintroduction of My Career as we know it today. NBA 2K12 had a career mode, as did 2K11 and 2K10, but this mode was just called My Player, and it lacked the narrative storyline or the pay-to-win mechanics, and was instead a simple but fun and in-depth career mode. 2K13...
Yeah, I've heard that the new My Career modes are absolutely abysmal. Like, it's basically impossible to truly level up your character unless you're willing to spend more hard-earned money on it. Which is so stupid. It so defeats the purpose of a video game. Hey, you want to level up your character? Spend more cash. I don't like that, dude. How about we get good? Give us a game where we can get good, and then that's how we level up. I got to give Rocket League credit for that, because even though they are free to play and all that stuff, there's tons of microtransactions. You can't do any purchases that are going to actually give you an advantage. It's a sport game. It's a skill-based game. So no matter how cool or fancy your car looks, if you don't know how to play, you don't know how to play.
Renamed My Player to My Career, and added a ton of role-playing elements that made the mode feel more like an immersive story rather than a collection of games on a schedule. At the time, these additions were well received. The mode was seemingly evolving, modernizing, taking that next step. You could now sign brand endorsements, wear flashy clothing, meet with your coaches and staff, and even cause some noise on social media all the way back in 2012. This expansion of the career mode was great, except for the fact that progression was now tied to virtual currency, something you earned in-game by just playing, but also something you could spend real money on.
This is where it dies, right here. This philosophy is where it dies. You could grind in the game or spend a little money. I remember Star Wars Battlefront 2 with Electronic Arts. Not the original, but the one, that came out now 7 or 8 years ago. That one getting huge backlash because they did the exact same thing. You can grind for millions of matches and get this Darth Vader, or you can just give us $10 or whatever the price was. I hate that kind of stuff.
But clothing was also tied to VC. If you wanted a new outfit, you needed to grind for it, or you could just drop a few dollars. And if 2K left this as it was in 2K13 forever, I don't think anyone would really care that much.
No, because cosmetic stuff, like whatever, a new shirt or a new pair of shoes, okay, fine. That's bonus stuff. That's not a necessity for the game. But the stuff that's mandatory to play the game, don't lock it behind a paywall. That's just screwed up.
But this
You already bought the damn game.
Planted the seed, a seed that would grow. On the next generation, my career would evolve even further, jumping online and introducing the park. And this evolution of the mode started to become a de-evolution after. What started out as a fun role-playing career mode became a pay-to-win online street ball mode with some cheesy cutscenes as an optional bonus. Virtual currency made sense at first. You could earn it by just playing the game at a fair rate and only pay if you wanted an absurd amount of VC to play with. But when the game got more online and social, and your outfit, your abilities, your badges, your animations, your house, everything became tied to VC.
Yeah.
2K started making so much money that the online aspects of my career became the new #1 priority for NBA 2K. This was their metaverse, where FOMO works at its best. And because it's a sports game, there's a new one every single year. So you get to keep buying VC every year for eternity.
That is also a very good point. Once again, I'll use the example of Rocket League. Rocket League, if I unlock something, if I were to purchase something too, like a cosmetic, a skin, a car design, a paint job, whatever the hell it is, a new set of wheels, I keep that forever. They don't take it away from me the very next year and say, well, if you want to continue, buy the new one. No. That's, I mean, in my mind, that's complete BS. So I don't understand why people feel the incentive to buy these microtransactions in a game that's going to be outdated in less than a year from their purchase date. You got to do it all over again. So that would teach me a lesson after the first one to never purchase again at that point. And if you can't have fun without making those purchases, then I don't think this is a good game.
Turning the career mode of a basketball video game into an online pay-to-win role-playing universe was actually kind of genius, as much as I hate it. NBA 2K13 is just so strange. By all means, it's fantastic. Go pick it up. Play it today. But man, oh man, did it do some serious damage to sports gaming. A more positive new feature for 2K13 was the shoe creator. This was when 2K was adding some crazy new addition each year, and the game still benefits today from these additions.
That's cool.
I mean, come on. There isn't another sports game out there right now that lets you create and edit your player's equipment from scratch.
Okay, I that's pretty cool right there.
Yet in 2012, 2K decided to add it to NBA 2K. Imagine if they kept that drive throughout 2K's development post 2K16. My team is present, although not playable today. The franchise mode association mode is surprisingly good. It's really not that different from My League or My NBA in later titles, and it's way snappier and quicker to simulate than in newer games too. The news, the NBA.com homepage, the rumor mill, CPU trade offers, the immense stat tracking, player roles, the RPG elements, all of these things add up to an excellent franchise mode experience running an NBA team. You really aren't missing out on much at all playing this over newer 2Ks if this is the mode you would play. To me, it feels like the most modern of the PS3 era titles when you account for the gameplay, presentation, and franchise mode. And it's
I would rather play this anyways because I like the lineups better.
well tuned, it's so in depth, it's really just a great game. Presentation is peak 2K, with similar commentary to what you get in modern 2K games with Kevin Harlan and Clark Kellogg, as well as Steve Kerr before he became the Warriors head coach. The commentary actually sounds better here than in newer games. It's more focused, maybe because the lines were more cohesive and didn't contain decades of audio. I wonder if modern sports games retaining commentary teams for too long ends up hurting the presentation when new lines are drowned out by the repetition of older recorded audio. The in-game banners and pop-ups for stats are great and useful, and the broadcast even
I'm not
has...
gonna lie, this looks way more smooth than the new games. Like, even just the on-court action, like, it seems just more fluent and natural.
Has these fake ads between quarters during association mode for upcoming big games, like this Celtics and Suns matchup before it gets back to the main game. The graphics don't look that impressive today, I will say, especially when you consider how huge of a leap they take with 2K14.
I mean, if I took this and I bumped it up to 4K in an emulator, I bet it would look pretty damn good.
But for a PS3 and Xbox 360 game, 2K13 did look pretty solid for its time. Even back then, everyone was sweaty as hell, and the jersey fabrics have some nice movement to them. Star players having their signature animations make the game look lifelike at times. The soundtrack is phenomenal, as you'd expect with someone like Jay-Z producing. You get Kanye, Daft Punk, Coldplay, Nas, U2, and more. Damn. It's an awesome vibe.
That just made me realize when I switched to NBA Street Volume 2, I'm totally going to have to mute the music, aren't I? Because it's got copyrighted music all up the butthole on that one. Those will probably get blocked. So I have to figure out something music-wise to play in the background while I play that series.
NBA 2K13 was a great game, and back in 2012, you would have had a great time playing it. Even today, it's a fantastic NBA sim. But 2K13 was also the true catalyst for the sudden end to NBA 2K's legacy run. No matter how much backlash 2K gets for their monetization practices, the series is still a huge success financially regardless, and it's arguably the most successful sports gaming franchise in North America. But no one really respects 2K anymore. No one is calling 2K26 a masterpiece.
Yeah.
Nor is anyone claiming that 2K is setting a new standard across gaming.
And I don't ever hear anybody excited about the new one. Like maybe a couple of YouTubers, but those are the ones who are getting like free game codes and are getting a bunch of free VC to hype the game. So those are very unreliable sources. But just like your average humans, who even those who love basketball or football and they love video games, even the ones buying the damn games, they're not very excited about it.
But 10 to 15 years ago, you could make those arguments. 2K was on that level. Financial success is one thing, but soul is another. After this last decade, deep down, no matter how well these games sell, we all know NBA 2K is dead. That's why we want to see NBA Live come back. And NBA 2K13 is what ultimately killed it. Thanks for watching.
Yo, was Jeremy Lin actually an all-star in here? Great video. That's why I like watching. I like watching Soft Drink TV because I rarely disagree with anything he says, and he kind of just represents how I feel about these games in general and why I refuse to buy the new ones. I know he has to because he's reviewing them. You know, he's built a whole channel off of this, a whole business off of this, but I ain't doing it. But I always watch Soft Drink's reviews. Because I'll tell you what, if Soft Drink TV ever comes out with a Madden or a NBA 2K review and says like, this is exactly what I've been looking for, I'm buying that one. You know, because he is a very reliable source. And you know, the guys at Take-Two and the guys at EA, they don't like him. They don't like him very much because he's always calling them out on their bullshit. So it's not like he'd ever get paid or to promote the game. They don't want anything to do with this guy. So one of us. Anyways, you guys, let me know what you guys think. Are you guys still playing these games all the time? It's okay if you are. I'm just curious. I'm curious if you guys still buy these games year after year, and if you do, what's your honest opinion of it? Do you think it's evolving in a good direction? Do you like what you're seeing? Is it still fun? Is it more fun than ever? Because I lost that joy in basketball games a long time ago, and the closest thing I got hooked on for maybe a couple of weeks, years ago now, was NBA Playgrounds, and that's just because it reminded me of NBA Jam. Tell you the truth, that's the only reason I was enjoying it. It was like the closest to a modern NBA Jam I can get. But anyways, guys, let me know what your thoughts. I'll see you all in the comments. Like the vid on the way out. If you could, subscribe if you want more content like this. And most importantly, is to be water, my friends. Peace out.